Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. We're going to get into what I've said in the caption. Canelo hates plant. I wonder why that is. Can y'all guess? I'm sure you can. Let's turn to welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. As I said earlier, you can refer to me as Miss T. Welcome to the Facebookers who are watching me. As I always tell you guys, stop what you're doing. Go into your YouTube channel and look up Boxing Fans Talk TV. Click the live chat and join us in chat. But shout outs to y'all anyway. Remember my Facebookers. You can also call 706-804-4449. That's 706-804-4449. Anytime when I say the phone lines are open, or if you want to say something about what we're talking about, feel free to join in. That goes for the people in the chat and everything. So before we get started, like I like to get hype a little bit. So I was listening to this a little bit, so thought y'all might like it.
Y'all hear smoke? Shut her down. Shut her down. Stop, smoke. Stop. Everybody stop. Since they thought I was an asshole on the radio Thursday, they thought I was an asshole on the radio Thursday. Now I'm gonna show y'all what I was talking about. Can't no nigga make Stomp Dog and Smoke do what I make them do. Cause that's my family. And that's how I'm going. You can take it how you take it. See me when you see me. See me in the streets, nigga. And saddle up, Smoke. When I saddle them up, Smoke. And today, I said the street fool, let me chill. That ain't fast enough, Smoke. That's too slow. Speed it up.
Hey.
Ah, yeah. Give me double barrel. Double barrel shotgun Smoke. Come on. Give me that. Give me that beat. That beat Smoke.
To free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll.
Bust down.
I said, the people to free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll.
You got Smoke? Oh, Smoke.
Hey.
Hey, Smoke, can you still do my favorite part, Smoke? Hey, Smoke, Can you do my favorite part? Put it in the pocket and do my part. Put it in the pocket, Jimmy Jeff. Put it in the pocket. You got smoke? Hold it, Jimmy Jeff.
They feeling that. Hey, I can't help it. I love go-go music. Oh my God. Like I always say, what a workout. Eric Gomez in the building was popping king. So look, water check, water check. I'm at 80 ounces as of right now. It's 7:30 on the East Coast. I'm at 80 ounces. I don't know what you guys where you guys standing right now, but I'm at 80 ounces. So the goal is 100 ounces per day. No dairy. For me, no meats and no carbs. I'm going hard. I'm going hard in the paint. This is my dinner. What am I eating today, you ask? Even though you didn't, you asked. I'm eating carrots, beets, spinach. Same thing I was eating yesterday. Grapes. Damn, what happened? Oranges and apples. That's what I'm eating. I didn't put no pineapples in. I use pineapples whenever I'm eating kale. Kale is nasty as hell, but it's like one of the best vegetables you can eat. Like it does wonders for your body. But shit, I can't do that every day. So I'm actually eating dinner right now. That's why I don't have no water bottle with me. But I got to about, I give myself to like 10 or 11 o'clock to knock down the other 4 bottles of water. And I will. I will. Yesterday, I got to 104 ounces. Monday, I did 88 ounces. So I'm definitely going to reach my mark today. And it's a win. It's a game. That's all I can do. So I got my water. Water check. Water check. Okay, so some of y'all are doing this journey with me, especially those in Facebook. I know who you are. I see you. Good on you. Work with me. Take this walk with me. Go on this journey with me. I love it. So we're gonna see what it do. I'm gonna do my show Sunday at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm gonna be talking about the wellness thing only, and that's what I do on the weekends. But as I said, I'm eating dinner right now, and I got 80 ounces in, so I got 4 more bottles to get in, and one for good measure. Henley in the building. I would love to know how to pronounce your first name, but I don't want to mess it up. But I'm gonna say Henley in the building. What's popping, King? Good evening, Miss T. Go to my Facebook page and see the app I told you about last night. Let me know if you see it. Hold on, let me see. My Facebook is on my phone. I don't have it pulled up right here. So hold on. I'm gonna search you. Yes, I can oblige you. Let me see. Mm, mm. Okay, I see two come up. Um, are you somebody who it says Verona High School? You live in Chesterfield? Inyo. Inyo. That's how you pronounce it. Inyo. Um, mm, which one are you? There's just two up here, but I don't think you're the one from high school. You might be. Mm, okay. Not that one. Let me see. Uh, y'all bear with me. I'm checking. I think it is because everyone that I clicked says, yeah, Chesterfield. So I'm on that. What am I looking for? Did you put it in my email or something? Oh, you talking about the IPTV. I see it. Mm. Oh, okay. That's TV. I'm definitely gonna look into it, Henley. I have a lot of subscriptions to a lot of pay channels. Like I probably pay over $500 a month in pay channels. I have everything, but I'll look into it for sure. Okay. Say yes, Jessica. So you from the VOT? You a brother in more ways than one. You from VA? My nieces and nephews went to that school. I used to live not that far from there. Um, Actually, my sister still lives there in that area. So shout outs to you. But we're gonna get we're gonna turn to. But hey Henley, how are you on your water check today? I'm talking to you like you agreed to go on this journey with us. How are you on your water check today? Hey, I'm telling y'all, 100 ounces. Feel good when you can make that too. Um, I'm not having to go to the bathroom that much because I drink water all the time anyway. But as I say, I'm eating dinner right now. This tasty. Oh, I had beets in it. So beets, carrots, and spinach. Those are my three vegetables. Grapes, oranges, and apples. Those are my three fruits. But I had carrot. I said carrots. Okay, so yeah, he said cups, 32 ounces. All right, player, we could get some more up in there. We could get some more up in there. Demetrius Bright in the building was popping, King. I sent you an email. Salute Queen T and fam. Demetrius, I'm eating my dinner, but I'm on 10 bottles of water. That's 80 ounces. I got four more to knock down and one for good measure. And I'm going to get it. I ain't going to bed till I get it. I'm going to get it before midnight for sure. So let's turn to. So y'all saw my thumbnail say Canelo hate plant. I wonder why. We know why, but some casual people or his fan base might not like the reason why. He butthurt. He butthurt because Caleb, in a sense, bullied him back. Caleb pressed those hot button items. He pressed those buttons that Canelo don't want to talk about. And Canelo needs to understand that we, as fans, are not going to let him forget this. You're not going to ride off into the sunset. The reason being, not because we hate you, but because we don't get to ride off in the sunset. And if we can't ride off into the sunset when we do some nefarious shit, you ain't gonna ride off into the sunset either. 4 cups. A cup is 8 ounces. So you said you had 32 ounces, 4 cups, 32 ounces each. Oh, that's what you're saying. Mm. Do that math real quick in the head. I can't. I'm an old broad. I don't do math like that quick no more. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I have of remnants of the past, abilities. Woo, you at your gallon. If you have 4 cups of 32 ounces each, you have reached the ultimate goal. You reached the gallon. Good on you, King. Good on you. I'm gonna try to be like you one day when I grow up. I can't do no gallon. Not just yet. I'm barely able to get 100. But like I said, it doesn't matter your size. Whenever you start drinking 100 ounces of water a day, it might as well be half your body weight in water. I just can't see nobody drinking 150 ounces or 200 ounces. I can't see it. I don't care how big you are. I just can't see it. 100 ounces should suffice it. That's an opinion. It's not a medical fact. Just so y'all know. But we shoot for 100 ounces. I know that every human being who's an adult can drink a gallon of water a day. Now I know that much. Anything past that, that's a talent. That's a good talent. How y'all doing on coffee drinking? Like some of y'all drink coffee or maybe liquor or something like that, where y'all able to set aside that for the time being. Because Henley, we also are not eating dairy at all of any kind, and anything made with dairy, we're not eating it. For this whole week, that's what we're doing. So we're gonna do a progress report or talk about feedback on Sunday. This Sunday, y'all join me Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is when I'm gonna broadcast the show, and we're gonna talk nothing but wellness. We're gonna talk about how our progress was this week, what we were able to see and gain for this week. This is a slow walk procedure. Some of you want it faster. Some of you, y'all know who y'all are, and hey, it's all to the good. And he said, I can't do that. Sir, you can do that. You can do it. Don't say you can't. But if you don't want to, that's cool with me too. My job ain't to force nothing on somebody, but I would tell you you'll be better off for it. As I told him on Sunday, y'all know what y'all eat when y'all eat eggs? You eating the chicken's period egg. It's the egg she released when she was on her period. Same thing. Humans release every time a woman comes on her period, she's dropping the egg. That what you eat? Eggs are good though, ain't it? Ain't it though? Ain't it though? It's one of my favorite breakfast food. I can't help it. That shit good. Them shit's good. So, but I know now that I know what it is, it make me say, it made it a little bit easier for me to stop eating the shit. Just a little bit easier. It still tastes good. If shit tastes good, it tastes good. You hooked on it, you hooked on it. And I do believe a little bit. I ain't gonna say it's impossible, but I do believe in an old dog learning new tricks. Like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I do see where that saying it comes from, but we are humans. We're smarter, and we can do anything we set our minds to. So that's how I choose to look at it. But anyway, let me turn to. So Caleb Plant hates. I mean, Canelo hates Caleb Plant. I know why. You know why. Canelo knows why. It's called embarrassment. It's called calling your ass out. It's called you walk around thinking you superior. And how dare this mere mortal, Caleb Plant, call you out? You think you more whiter than him. You think you got more privileges than he do. Talking about Canelo to Plant. Henry said 174 and 5'8". That's good for you, player. That's good. That's good. I mean, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking, Henley. If you don't mind me asking. Um, so Canelo admitted in one of his workout sessions that he feels a certain kind of way about Plant. That is to say, he got hate for Plant. He never wanted to hurt somebody more than any other opponent that he's faced. He wants to get at Plant, but hurt. And I say why? I say the trash talking and calling him out as Caleb Plant should have, as anybody who's on the stage with Canelo should. Okay, he's still on this BS. He's still on this shit. Like, you talk about my mother, and to Canelo fans, y'all can believe that shit if you want to. Real simple. If you really believe that, then and you think that that was horrible to disrespect your mother, which it will be, because your mother is not in the fight game, and I'm a believer in don't bring up people families. Having said that, though, Canelo, you cannot possibly believe that because it's the same language you use against Boo Boo Andrade. You call his mother a motherfucker then. So how you explain that? So help me, help you, help me understand. If you can call somebody else's mother or talk about them in that way, then why they can't talk about yours? Are you God? Are you superior? We didn't get the memo. The rest of us on earth, we didn't get the memo. Henley said, 58, 11, 24. Okay. So your birthday, November 24th, 1963. Okay. You in good shape for your age. Um, it won't hurt. If you was younger, I'd be like, oh, you got time. But since you up there with us, old folks, and I proudly say I'm old. Since you up there with us, it's a good thing to think about changing that. It's gonna extend your life. And sometimes stuff don't sneak up on you till it do. But I'm telling you, it's an improvement. But if you don't see a problem with it and you're not having an issue with it, by all means, because it's good to be happy, right? I always just tell people you don't want to wait till you ain't got no choice but to do it. Because now that's a suck ass life. That's when it sucks. But if you're not at that moment yet, by all means, enjoy your life, player. So again, like I said, Canelo, um, somehow or another, you got some privileges that nobody else has. Somehow or another, Boo Boo Andrade's mother don't deserve the same respect as your mother. And you said it in front of his dad. That's his wife. That's his lady. That's like somebody talking about your girl, your wife, or your baby mama. I don't know which one of your girls is like, is a permanent staple in your life because you got many. But that would be, embarrassing, right? That would also be disrespectful, right? And that would also be challenging, right? If the word motherfucker was applicable to a person's actual mother. But as we said before, Canelo been in this country about 13 years. He knows damn well that that's not the case. What he is really mad about, and his response is juvenile, because only juveniles respond like, I'm mad, like try to pretend like you're mad about something else when you really mad about this thing over here, but you try to make it about something over there so you don't show like you're in your feelings. You're emotional. I thought men don't be emotional. And I'm challenging Canelo because, Mexicans are notorious for being macho, machismo, right? You was butthurt and in your feelings. And this is why you hate this man. Mm. The man told the truth. He might not have presented it in a package with a bow, but he told the truth. And you got in your feelings. Is that manly of you? And the only reason I say that about this group, because they pride themselves on this. They pride themselves on being machismo. You know, that's them. That's their thing. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be in his feelings, it's going against the grain of what most Mexicans say they are or believe themselves to be. They're macho men. They don't cry. Men don't cry. There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in boxing, right? But that's what he's doing. He's crying. He's crying because somebody dare let the fans know the truth, particularly his fans who don't want to see the truth. We all are not blind. You are not superior, but you walk around like you are. The first signs that I saw in Canelo that he walks around like he's superior is when he had to fight Floyd. They were absolutely certain that they were going to beat Floyd. Floyd even tried to take photos. No, Floyd is he's a businessman too. He was trying to sell a fight. He was trying to take the photos with Canelo holding the belt and he on the other side holding the belt that Floyd owned. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo was like swishing him away, not wanting to be involved, and just like straight disrespect. And you got your ass whooped for it. I loved every minute of it, especially that round when you swung for the fences and Floyd didn't know what you was swinging at, and he looked out the side of the ring like, and he did his hands like where the hell you swinging at, dog? I love that. I fell out laughing. You was probably cheating back then. But you know how I feel about cheaters. Once a cheat, always a cheat. I never look at them like, well, maybe they didn't cheat this time. Maybe they didn't cheat that this time or that time. I look at it like you probably cheat all the time. Just because you ain't got caught, to me, it don't mean that you wasn't cheating. You just ain't got caught. And like I said, my only assessment of a cheater is were you a good cheater or not? Were you the best cheater or not? And as far as I'm concerned, the person who hold that title is Manny Pacquiao. And I don't care what his fans think. He even admitted so much. I mean, like the beginning of his career, he cheated, and he admits that. It's not that big a deal, putting rocks in your shorts so you can make the required weight. They have requirements for a reason. But he was sure of himself, and he was proven to be right because he wasn't even big enough to be a professional, but he was in his heart he was big enough, and he won some fights. So he was right. I am ready and I'm big enough, but that don't always be the case. As I said, they have requirements for a reason. So we know that Manny started early in the career. We also know his head grew, and that just don't happen once you become an adult. Care how nobody feel about that. I'm speaking truth, so I don't feel like I'm badgering or besmirching somebody's reputation. You cannot. The truth is free and it should be spoken. You can't hurt nobody when you're telling the truth. People can be in their feelings all they want, but the truth shall set you free. So Canelo, that's what should have happened to you at your press conference. Now, we never hear Canelo really call a round. Now he has now called the round. He said by the eighth round or in the eighth round, he's gonna knock Caleb Plant out. As I always have been saying since August, Caleb Plant, if you're listening, I apologize. I apologize for the wrongdoing that they're gonna do to you. I apologize for the cheating that's gonna be done on behalf of Canelo and for whatever he's already done. And it's sad because that tells you what kind of human being he is. He got hate for this man for telling the truth, that he's willing to hurt him for real, for real. And I know it's the hurt business, but look at his intent. I told you I judge people by their intent. He already a fucked up individual getting in the ring with that kind of background. So I mean, now he's promising to really put some damage on somebody. You have no humanity, sir. You have no honor, none. And then for you to continue to lie as if that man was speaking about your mother. It is what, a month later or so since that press conference, and you still holding on to that lie. And then your mother co-signed it. Thanks, son, for taking up my honor. Y'all have no honor, none. your honor list, if that's a word. All because Caleb Plant called him what he is, which is a drug cheat. Either way, anywho, the fight is gonna be on Showtime pay per view. It's gonna be at MGM Grand Las Vegas, so it will be free the following week when Showtime plays it. That's a good thing about Showtime. Whenever they have a fight that goes to pay per view, the very next week, same time, same place, it's gonna be broadcast for free. Do I want to buy the fight? Yes, to support Caleb Plant. But between Terrence Crawford and them, y'all know Bud. Bud got me. Bud is my guy. 10 toes down. I'm gonna pick Bud over all of them for that whole month. And don't get me wrong, November is a hot month. So to my casuals that's watching me on Facebook, tune in November. It is a hot month. It seems like every week there's going to be a great fight. You got Caleb Plant and Canelo on the 6th. And I think you got a fight that just came through. I said about it yesterday on the 3rd or the 4th, something like that. You got some fights even then, but you got them on the 6th. And then you have uh, the next the next week, like the 13th, you got Uskatiki and David Benavidez, and that's a hot ticket item right there. David Benavidez, I really like him as a fighter. I am a big fan. I still say I don't change what I say. At times, I feel he can be unreliable because he has issues. I hope he licked his drug problems and he was doing cocaine, not banned substance, not banned substance that's supposed to elevate you. If anything, it's hurting him, but it's not allowed. So either way, you know, that's unfortunate for him that he succumbed to that. But I don't think he's has a problem with it right now. But once you engage in stuff like that, you kind of always got to fight that ghost. Um, and he also can come in heavy. We wouldn't even be sitting in this predicament if if David Benavidez didn't lose his belt because Canelo was not going to fight him. This is why I call Canelo Chiduk. And y'all remember what I call a Chiduk. A Chiduk is a cross, a hybrid of a chicken and a duck when they have a baby. And right now, it's three of them out there. Canelo is the big brother. Then you got Jojo Diaz, and then you got Ryan Garcia. Those are the Chiducks in boxing. I'm sure there will be more because you know that they can populate real easy, I guess. But for now, those are your three Chiducks because they too chicken and scary to fight people that they avoid people and they duck them. So they're a combination of a chicken and a duck. Hence the name Chiduk. But so we got Uskatiki and David Benavidez. Then the following week on the 20th, we got my boy, Terrence Crawford, Terrence Bud Crawford, fighting Sean Porter. And Sean, you're gonna get your ass waxed. I don't see you beating Bud. But you know what? It's a good fight. It's good for boxing. And I'm all for the best fighting the best, no matter how it ends. I believe my guy is going to be victorious, but if he's not, I'm proud of him because he fought one of the top echelon fighters. Or should I say, a potential top fighter in Sean Porter, as he like to call Deontay Wilder, potential. Get off that haterade, Sean. I like you. Don't make me not like you. So I'm definitely buying the Porter Crawford fight. Then on the 27th, we got the rescheduled fight between Brandon Figueroa Jr. and Cool Boy Step, which is gonna have Reese Salim on there and Antonio um, Russell. Gary Russell, Gary Antonio Russell. I think the week before that, or the week, I don't know which day. Is it Terrence card or is it Benavidez card? But we're gonna have Gary Antoine Russell. So the Russells was in the building in the month of November. This is why I say November is a hot month. It's turning out to be one of the hottest months in boxing this year. But that's gonna be a hot month. And December is offering us some nuggets too, because we got Rolly and Tank coming up. We also got Lomachenko, for those of you who are big fans of his, fighting Comey. I don't think that's gonna be an easy fight for Lomachenko. If Comey don't have stamina and can keep up with his angles, you know, and not run out of breath, I think Lomo gonna have a hard time because Comey do hit hard. And the beautiful thing about Tank and Rolly, because Rolly is a silly character, which is helpful to sell the fight. But both of those gentlemen have power. That's the beauty of it. Now we get to see, can Tank take his power? Can he take Tank power? We get to see that, y'all. So that's very interesting. And I can't wait. That's what makes it interesting to me. And the fact that both of those guys have bad blood and they're going to squash it in the ring. So, but like I said, I'm definitely buying the Porter Crawford. Caleb, I do want to support you. I'm not all the way no, but that's a lot of money to be shelling out for fights just around the corner from Christmas. It's things that, I play Santa Claus. I play Santa Claus in my family too, as well as most of you. Santa Claus got to get to work. So Santa Claus can't be buying all these fights and, coming through with the Christmas gifts. So I just gotta weigh my options. Um, so like I said, if it's Showtime for my casuals on Facebook, whenever you hear Showtime pay per view or ESPN pay per view, um, that means you're gonna get it free on the TV. Like if it's ESPN, you can watch that for free. You probably got that package on your cable. If it's ESPN Plus, we shit out of luck. You gotta have a subscription. If it's the Zone, you gotta have a subscription. But if it's Showtime pay per view, you can get the pay per view, or you can wait till the next week and watch it for free. Save your pockets. That's the good thing about Showtime pay per view. And when they do a lot of free fights too. So that's what we got to look forward to. Right in front of us, though, we got Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. So I look forward to this weekend. I might drive out if I get a ride with out that way to Atlanta because Atlanta is not that far from me. But I don't like to drive in Atlanta. I told you guys yesterday why. But definitely we'll be watching that fight. And I think that's free on Showtime. So I definitely will be watching. Or maybe it's free on ESPN. One of those. So that's what's up. Um Now I gotta tell you, Ray Renuso, Eddie, I said Ray. Eddie Renuso chimed in on with Canelo talking this old nut shit, talking about he hate Caleb Plant. I mean, you ain't lived long enough to hate somebody, Canelo. And I don't know how you hate somebody for telling the truth. But anywho, your boy Eddie chimed in and was trying to say, there's no bad blood. Eddie, whether in writing or person face to face, you ain't got no poker face. There's no bad blood, but mark my words. Y'all mark my words. After the fight, especially if Canelo wins, watch how they act. You gonna be able to tell whether it was bad blood. So I don't even know why he even faked the funk right now. This is what I'm talking about lying. You just lose credibility. It is bad blood. Y'all mad. Well, you per se may be mad, Eddie, because he called you a fat bitch. Did he lie? Y'all got on his nerves. The shit that y'all do get on everybody's nerves. You gotta expect a response like that. He called you a fat bitch. So I know you mad. He also, you wrote a whole article or gave an interview about why you shouldn't be held responsible for the cheating that your whole crew do. I'm just the trainer. I don't know nothing about that. That's bullshit, Alado. That's bullshit. You know. Anybody want to chime in, chime in. 706 804 4449. And make sure the phone lines are open. 'Cause I always tell people to call. Yep, they are open and they're good to go. We'll put the link in the chat again. So you guys, because you know me, I get to talking and I just talk, talk, talk. So Eddie is going out his way to try to act to save face. Oh, it's no bad blood. One, you and Canelo is not on the same page. It is bad blood, and you know it. And like I said, we'll see it clearly when the fight is over. Because if you win, you're gonna talk mad shit. If you lose, you're gonna be a sore loser. Just like Canelo was a sore loser after Floyd, but he had no choice but to give it up. Ain't nobody fighting the Mexican style. The Mexican style is not a number one way to win boxing. It has I don't know how many times that has to be proven over and over again. It will make for exciting fights, but it's not a number one way to win boxing matches. It's not the number one way to box. It goes against the grain of what boxing is, which is a sweet science. Hit and don't get hit. The Mexican way goes against that. So we have to dismiss or reprogram our mind to think that boxing is not a sweet science anymore, that the notion of boxing is not hit and don't get hit, that that's not the game for every boxer who gets in the ring. It's the Mexican style. Give me a fucking break. Who are you selling this shit to? People who don't know no better, casuals, or Mexicans who will rock with what you say regardless. Why can't y'all get with the program and get to what the sweet science of boxing is all about? Hit and don't get hit. Why is that difficult for y'all? Y'all not have good legs? I mean, last time I checked, you're a human just like us. You can run. You can do things that make you have good legs. What's the problem? You just don't like it? Well, that's y'all problem. The boxing world is not going to turn on its head to accommodate y'all nonsense. It has always been the sweet science, and it will always be the sweet science. And the reason why I talk passionately about what Eddie Reynoso is saying, because there's some tomfoolery right before your eyes. It's consensus writing right before your eyes. Revisionist writing right before your eyes. Boxing is hit and don't get hit. Sweet science. It's not stand in front of your opponent and just rock them sock. That's Mexican style. It's not that shit. And we're not gonna adopt it. So tell that to people who don't know no better. But you're not gonna flip what boxing is and always have been to benefit your group of fighters or people who look like you. The arrogance of it all with him. Uh no bad blood. Like I said, after the fight, y'all watch. Um, he said the focus is to show that Mexican boxing, this is words, is number one. The focus is to show that Mexican boxing is number one. Well, sir, I ask you, Eddie Reynoso, how do you do that? Standing in front of somebody is not number one boxing. It is not even the goal. We just talked about sweet science of boxing. Nobody's going to get rid of that meaning and that notion for your ass or Canelo. You cannot put on us his limitations and hope that we rock with him. It's not how it goes. So I honestly see it as racist. Everything they do is racist. And they say we are racist. They might even think listening to me that I'm racist, and I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Because I think any man or woman who trains that hard and get in that ring and do what they do, I salute them. because the shit ain't easy. It ain't for everybody. And I don't have a race barrier. Like it is open to all races, creeds and color, religion, whatever. It's open to all who wants to do it. They're the ones who put up barriers, what they can and cannot do, who they will and will not fight. First of all, that's not number one behavior. That's off the rip right there. That's not number one behavior, Eddie. Um, so if Mexican boxing is number one, since when? Based on what? We can just look at the century that we just got out of, the 20th century, because all of that shit is relevant. Before the 20th century, in the 19th century, black boxers had to have their own league. I didn't even know that until I started researching some things. They had their own league, just like they had their own baseball league. We couldn't break the color barrier. Those were the rules of that day. And they knew that if we got in it, that we would dominate. They just knew it. It's like inevitable. Everybody knows this. This is not me tooting the horn of black folks. This is like facts. This is not me saying that there can never be somebody outside of blacks who could dominate, because then I would be lying. Anybody could dominate. But in general, for the most part, blacks have always been better physically shaped athletes. They just have been. And Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso don't like it. They just don't like it. But that's not our problem as fans or even the fighters out there. That's not your problem. That is their problem. But he said he want to show how Mexican boxing is number one. And my question is, since when? Based on what? If we go through all the heavy, I did a show where I told y'all approximately 33 years total out of a whole century where there wasn't black who dominated boxing. That don't mean that 30 of those 33 years, all of that was attributed to Mexican fighters. That was whites, Mexicans, Indians, somebody other than black. So out of 33 years in a century, and we know a century holds 100 years, blacks were not dominant for 33 years of that. The other years, we were dominant. So again, Eddie, I asked, since when has Mexican boxing been number one? They don't adhere to the sweet science. That was before any of us hit this earth. Before any of us who's listening to this broadcast or is in this chat were born, before we were ever born, before we were a twinkle in our dad's eye, the sweet science was a thing. And it's always been a thing. Hit and don't get hit. Please tell me, somebody, how Mexican boxing adheres to that notion. I don't see it. I'm not being racist when I say that. I don't see it. Mexican boxing, to me, if I could sum it up, is they hope their opponent stand in front of them, they just beat them like a punching bag. It's not that much movement and angles. It's go in and rock them and sock 'em. How is that adhering to the sweet science? You cannot do that, because then you will not be adhering to hit and don't get hit. So your notion of Mexican boxing being number one is false. It's false and faulty at that point. And based on what time period, you know, yes, I was born in the latter half of the 20th century and I'm still living today, thank God. But in my lifetime, or before my lifetime, what time period Was Mexican boxing number one? Somebody enlighten me. So that's false and faulty right there, Eddie. So we got you down for two um, misspoken statements right there because Mexican boxing does not adhere to the sweet science and it has never been a thing in boxing history. Sorry to tell you. You cannot go to parts of Africa and say, hey, name a couple of great fighters. And they're going to talk about some Mexican fighters or Hong Kong or different parts of Asia or Europe. But I guarantee you, you can go anywhere in this world and they know who Muhammad Ali is. Mostly anywhere in this world, they know who Sugar Ray Leonard is or Sugar Ray Robinson or Joe Lewis. I can go on and on. And that's just from the past. Okay. Not to mention people from the future. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. Where in this equation is and all of them have what we call American style boxing. If I'm gonna categorize it, I'm gonna say American style. I'm not just gonna say black boxers, even though everybody I just named was black. But I'm gonna say here in America, we believe in the sweet science. We try to adhere to it. Other places may not, but that's not our problem as fans. That's not nobody' problems but theirs. It's for them to correct their mistake or their misguidance, not us. But what you will not do, Eddie, is pass off your notion or try to revise history of what boxing should be. It is not Mexican style. In fact, that is a bad idea. Um, so then I said, how is Mexican style boxing is number one? You said you want to show this. You said you want to show this um inadvertently by using Canelo. Because that's the fight you was talking about. So we know you got Canelo, Ruiz, Garcia, and Martin in your camp, maybe some others. But right now you were talking about Canelo. So you want Canelo to show the world that Mexican boxing is number one. And even if you win, that's one fighter you have that is undisputed. The beauty about becoming undisputed is because there never has been an undisputed champion in that weight class. That's the beauty of it. He will be the first. Kudos to him. But it doesn't negate Jack Johnson, Joe Lewis, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. You see, I can go on and on and on. And Canelo carries an arrogance as if he think just because he win undisputed that y'all have y'all have become dominant and on top of the world when it comes to boxing, and it just doesn't mean that. And I say that respectfully. You have to do a little bit more than that. Just like I just named off or rattled off those fighters, in order for Mexican boxing to be number one, we got to rattle off names of Mexicans just like that. And we can't do that with one win, Canelo. So the arrogance of it all. So how is Canelo going to show the world that Mexican boxing is number one when he ducked? We know he ducked. We know that he moves out of divisions as to avoid fighting some people. He's ducked Andrade on many occasions and has flat out said he won't fight him. Why? You're in the boxing game. This is the sport you chose. This guy is in your division. You ducked him before and now you ducking him again. Why? Make sense. Help me help you. What is the reason, Canelo, that you conduct this man? What is it? Cause he getting a payday? Ain't that what the fuck you getting? A payday? Isn't that what y'all do it for? A payday? So we know it's not that. You're a chaduck. You're a chicken and you're a duck combined together. You're a chaduck. You're scared. Ricky Williams said, and got popped. Exactamundo. And Ricky Williams said, shaking my head. Exactamundo. So we already said two things as a recap. The sweet science of boxing, Mexican boxing, cannot be number one in that. We said that based on what? Based on what? Based on your wants? That's not how it works. Based on your fantasy? It's not how it works. Then we said you can't show the world that Mexican boxing is number one when your fighter is a ducker. Can't be done. He automatic is excluded from showing us the world that Mexican boxing is number one. He's a ducker. Uh, when he cheated, we not gonna forget that you popped for a banned substance, Canelo. You want us to forget. That's why you hate Caleb, really, because he made sure. Let me put this back on Front Street. It will always follow you, and it's fair. People have lives where we out here doing stuff. We put our foot in our mouth in our own lives. We do bad things, and it follows us. That's life. We all gotta deal with it, but you don't. I forgot you're superior in some kind of way. I just can't put my finger on it, but some kind of way, Mexicans, as far as Canelo is concerned, is superior. And I don't say that all Mexicans feel that way, but that motherfucker actually carries it like that. And I call you a motherfucker, Canelo. I ain't talking about your mom. So don't even start tripping on that because I know that's bullshit. I call you, and you know what it means to say that. Okay. And so we got ducking, we got cheating when he lies. This whole thing with the motherfucker statement, straight up lie. And you're willing to lie to your fans that that's how you saw it and that's how you feel about it. You willing to do that? If you're gonna lie to them about that, what else you lie about? You can't trust a liar. What else you lie about? Ricky Williams said facts. Come on, Canelo. Come on, Cletus. What else you lying about? You know the MF word is not applicable to your mother. He's talking to you. And Caleb said as much. But you want to paint this narrative. There you go with your consensus writing and your revisionist writing and sensational writing. I always say this, y'all, because I want y'all to know what that is. This is something when you have a history degree that we concentrate on because we have to be able to point to that historically so that you can make better choices and make informed decisions because it goes on all the time. It goes on all the time, and some people don't pay attention and shit get missed. Like I'm gonna break away and say this little story. I lived in Spain twice. When I first got to Spain, I went through what they call ICR, and it was like a class where you try to get to know their culture and everything, so you don't be shocked or whatever. One good reason why I approve of this type of way when you move into a new country that you get this kind of tutelage because the Spanish people have what they call a ferry, or they have like I guess something similar would be called like a carnival, kind of like Brazil. All Latinos kind of do this in different countries in their own way. And in the ferry, or the carnival, so to speak, they have I bullshit you not, people in blackface looking like Aunt Jemima, jigaboos, or whatever. I mean, insulting is not the word. They have to tell us rather for us to be walking down the street and see some shit like that. And I'm glad they did because that would have knocked me to my knees. Like I would have been like, wait a minute, wait a damn minute. What the hell? But I was taught right when I got there, like, hey, and I don't even know if I had just missed the carnival or I know that I've been there long enough to see a couple of them. They do. And it doesn't mean what it means over here. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. And so when I talk about revisionist writing, we learned about the buildings we were in, like some of their beautiful castles slash churches or whatever. You go to some of their cities like Sevilla, it ain't nothing but a bunch of castles look like built beautiful. I don't even think it can be recreated today, but they tell us part of the story. So you walk away thinking, damn, the Spanish people was doing the damn thing back in the day, right? You never know, or you never knew that in the year of 711, the Moors took over Spain. Before there was a Hannibal, there was the Moors doing that shit. And they conquered that whole region from the southern part of France, all of Spain, and some parts of Italy for 800 years. It wasn't until 1492 when Queen Isabella, that's why she has relevance, kicked the Moors out. They tried and they couldn't figure it out. Now, the beauty of it is during that time, Europe was barbaric. They had just in England and UK area, they had like three colleges, maybe, and a couple of people were civilized, maybe. But all of the areas where the Moors had ran, civilization ran supreme. They were the smartest in everything in math, astrology, being a doctor, growing food. These people didn't even know how to grow food. And maybe once they knew, but after the Ice Age, they forgot. And the only reason they know their history is because the Ottoman Empire, which we know who consists of the Ottoman Empire, they recorded their history and then gave it back to them. But the whole point of the story is that's what's bad about revisionist history because you'll walk away thinking, oh, them Spanish, oh man, it was something else. No, the Moors were. And I dare say they civilized Europe because everybody wanted to imitate that region, not the other way around. And I actually wrote a paper in college about it, and my teacher quivered with the fact that I said how the Moors civilized Europe. I had to say it in a different way. She was white. She was a good lady. I loved her to death. She was my history teacher on many classes, but she had a problem with that. And sometimes they don't even know that they be having problems with the truth until it happens. She made me change my title and everything. Was trying to lowball me on the grade and everything. But I was correct in what I said. They did civilize Europe. And a lot of their traditions today, those are Moorish traditions. And they don't even know. Their people don't know. And they claim it's Spanish tradition. And it's not. That was a little fun fact of history that I like to throw in there as to why y'all probably can see why I'm always saying consensus writing. Consensus writing goes to the victor. Sensational writing. An example of that is us going into the Spanish American War. A lot of sensational writing that was lies. And we went in there and did what we did off of lies. Or revisionist, meaning I'm going to revise the truth to my favor. That's all that type of writing is. That's what I see in Eddie Reynoso. I always say too, 100 years from now, Muhammad Ali would have been Mexican. I'm telling you, we ain't gonna be here, but that's what it's gonna be. Demetrius Brice cheated being the past and allowed to continue to cheat by raising levels of illegal drugs so Canelo can continue to use as well as being a known duck. Facts. Uh, the boxing section in the building. What's up, Kyle? Salute to the family and the chat. Ricky Williams said Moors conquered the entire planet. Okay, King. I ain't get that far then. I know that they did that whole area. If I can actually reasonably see why you can conclude that too, because everything we do in the West based off of that. So who won? Who really did win the colonization war? And then Ricky Williams said, AKA the Dark Ages, you better teach. You know it, King. You know I got to. I got to. I got to share this knowledge. But getting back, Canelo, you a duck. You a cheater. You don't adhere to the sweet science. And since when that Mexican boxing dominate the sport of boxing. Like I said, maybe I just don't know. Y'all know my motto: when you know better, you do better. Maybe I just don't know. But when I check the archives, that shit ain't true. So nice try, Eddie. Nice try, Eddie Reynoso. Because we got Eddie Hearn out there doing the same type of revisionist history at times. Um, so none of that part happened, which is true. When he lies, that's important. He straight up lying to y'all about how he feel about the MF. You know, your mama ain't no more important than Boo Boo's mama. Period. She ain't no less important than Boo Boo's mama. But if you really believe that, Canelo, then you have to explain to us. And I will love for somebody who interviews him the next time, ask him why the hell he said that to Boo Boo's mom. Somebody please let me know. Let me know. I would love for somebody who have access to Canelo to ask him that question. I doubt it would happen because he got to roll with the lie. And if you go that far as to lie, you're really, you claim you hate him because of what he said about your mama. False hate. I hope Caleb Plant wax your ass. I hope he sit your ass down for good. For real, for real. I would say, Caleb, won't you cheat like he do? But, cheaters never prosper. I just don't believe in cheating, especially in sports. You got people out here placing money on bets and getting cheated. Now, what the fuck we do to y'all? That's how I feel. Like I'm still mad about my 300 that I laid down on Wilder. What I do to y'all? I ain't got no beef with you, Tyson Fury, other than the fact you're a horrible person when it comes to sporting. I don't know how you are, like just socializing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But when it comes to sports, you're a horrible person. But what do I got to do with that? Why do I have to lose my motherfucking money? Somebody tell me that. Ricky Williams said, man, sis, I lost 500. Facts. I lost 3. That's crazy. Why should, I'm asking gamblers, why should y'all ever bet on shit again? Is that what they want shit to be? To not bet on nothing again because we value cheating? This is why I can't stand it. P for pound for pound sports entertainment. Salute King. So again, recap. Not adhering to the sweet science. Since when did Mexican boxing become number one? You duck, you cheat, you lie. You fight at catch weights. You fight at catch weights. Why? Because you're the greatest? No, because you're not the greatest. You need leverage. And you have a rehydration clause. Why? Did anybody do that to you? Y'all hit the like button. Please do. Please do, sirs. Get my likes up. You lie, you do catch weights, and you have rehydration clauses, but nobody did you like that. You need leverage, but you're the greatest. I don't remember Muhammad Ali needing leverage. In fact, when he beat George Foreman, he should have never won. If logic predicts how shit should go, he was smaller and George hit harder, right? Muhammad Ali shouldn't have won a lot of fights. He wasn't that, he wasn't known as a power puncher. Not that he didn't have no respectable power, just saying he wasn't known for that. You know what I'm saying? And he fought many different styles. How do you prepare for a motherfucker like Joe Frazier? And I mean MF in a respectable way. How do you prepare for him? I will almost say that Sean Porter is similar to Joe Frazier, Smoking Joe, but he not. Joe actually boxed. Sean tackles. There's a difference. And if you ain't careful, like Joe is Smoking Joe, that name fit him so good. He's smoking along nonstop. You, I don't know what you gotta do to put him down. They don't even make men like that no more. Them dudes went 15 rounds. Name somebody today that can do that shit. Back when Floyd was active, he was one guy I said if he probably can go 15 rounds. That I believe. One person out of thousands, there's not many fighters who can do that. But those men did. They were stronger or harder or whatever you want to call it. But also back then, eating was more clean. Wasn't all this processed bull crap we got to deal with today. There's advantages from back then, disadvantages from back then. Same thing now. When you go forward, somebody will look at back now as today's time, just like how we look at back then. But catch weights, Canelo, who does that? People who look for leverage. People who cheat look for leverage. Everything about you is looking for some kind of leverage. You're such a liar and a cheater. You're disgusting. I don't even know how anybody is your fan. And I hope everybody you fight, not just Caleb, I hope everybody you fight hurts you because your intent is despicable based on the shit that you do. You allow and are proud of when cheating is done for you. You have nothing to say. What did he say about the lady who called it a draw when Floyd fought you? Floyd beat your ass the whole fight. What did you have to say? Somebody with honor would be like, excuse me, I came up short. I just couldn't do it. This motherfucker was acting like he was butthurt. Like somebody robbed him, like he's the anointed person or something. He didn't have a problem with that lady cheating for him. I doubt if he ever said anything, about that. He just happy it happened. He's happy with people capping for him, cheating for him. That says a lot about you, sir. Not about us fans. Your fans choose to look away. Why? Because you have the complexion for the protection. You are the ultimate Mexican. You look white. And that's what they love. Yes, I know about y'all in-house racist shit that y'all have between yourselves. You are not my king, my prince, or my anything. I don't fall at your feet. And the shit that y'all be saying out y'all camp baffles me. All of y'all. Ryan Garcia tried to cap for you when Caleb called y'all a bitch. Oh, that's disrespectful. Ryan, you're right. That is disrespectful to call somebody a bitch. But y'all shit talking, right? But Ryan was not disrespectful is Caleb saying he's a cheat. That's what we call facts. But that's if y'all are the representation of Mexicans. Mexicans, I think, are beautiful people that need different representation. Because you guys are liars and cheaters and duckers. You're chicken, you're ducks. You are not a good representation of your community. You just not. Pick somebody else, y'all. Please. That don't get down like Canelo. He's not a good representation of y'all. He's the worst. And you will not revise history. Not on my watch. Hail to the knees all. Not on my watch. So catch weights, rehydration clauses. But you're number one. hmm Let me tell you about number one fighters or great fighters. Everything that I just described that's in your repertoire, great fighters, number one fighters, they don't have that in theirs. So Eddie Reynoso got to explain to me at least, or to like who am I? But I'm a fan of the sport, and I love the sport too much to let you get away with some nonsense, Eddie Reynoso. How you gonna show the world that Mexican boxing is number one? I just went there in a litany, a list like of things where you fall short of proving that. Just on the sweet science of it all, period. We could stop right there and you were not able to show that. So Eddie need to explain that. because I could say I'm confused, but I know what he's doing. He's revising history, and our job is to never let him do that. Now, I am fully prepared for Canelo to win. I just hope I'm pleasantly surprised that Caleb wins. Why? He has too much leverage. Why? Because they allow him. We know he has some tea. We know he was sipping on that scissor called tea, the no name brand tea that they refused to name. We know he was. That's why he was tripping about sealing the deal back in September, early part of September. He was waiting to cycle off. In my opinion, it's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's not slander. He's done it before, so it's my opinion. Once you do it, you always do it. You can't change my mind on that. But number one fighters, Renuso, your camp is not. Reggie Bell in the building was popping king. You don't possess a number one fighter. And you do a disservice, and you and your camp do a disservice to the Mexican people in general. To me, it's a beautiful country, a beautiful culture, um, beautiful traditions, and you staining it with your bullshit, with your lies and your cheating and all that good stuff. You're staining it. And the Mexican people, y'all shouldn't put up with that shit. Y'all don't need to go through that to be great. Somebody is great in that culture or that race. Somebody is. We just haven't seen it, or maybe they didn't desire to be great in boxing. Trust me, y'all have some heavy hitters. I'm sure. You know, there's enough Mexicans that I'm sure that they're out there. Canelo and Eddie Reynoso camp is not. Period. Now they're gonna have to change that list of shit I said. They're gonna have to refute that some kind of way, and I doubt that they can. So, oh my goodness, hold on, y'all, 1 second. Girl, I'm on the show. Okay, all right, all right. I'll call you back. That's one of the queens that come in on Friday. Um, so I'm gonna move on, but every time they talk, I can't stand it. I just really nitpick, and y'all will always hear when y'all hear me say consensus writing, revisionist writing, and sensational writing. I say it all together; they mean the same thing, but I just want to make sure I cover every lingo that describes that action. Y'all have to be leery of it, especially as Black people. That shit is notoriously done to us in our history, and you can't let it go down. Willie Beachman in the building. What's popping, King? Um, so let's move on. The WBA has decided that Ugas has 30 days to negotiate a fight between himself and Stanionis. That was going to be anyway, right? But he lost his battle today. Today they made a decision. He lost his battle, and him not wanting to be in that tournament. And it's like I feel, like I said, I feel what he's saying. He's basically saying like, what else I gotta do? Do y'all do everybody like this? It's like, yeah, I know you the champ, but you really ain't the champ till you fight Pacquiao. He fights Pacquiao, beats his ass. Yeah, I know you beat Pacquiao and you're the real champion, but really, unless you have this tournament, we really don't know. I think that's how he's feeling. And he doesn't like that shit. And I wouldn't either. He did everything he was supposed to do to make his statement, to prove his point, to earn his status. Now, this is where I differ with you, Ugas. You saying that it is about the money. And okay, it's prize fighting. I can't argue with that. But you also saying you want unification. Well, you're not going to get one with Bud because he's occupied. He has Sean Porter fight coming up. So you're not doing anything. You're not gonna get it with Errol Spence, who has the other two belts, because he's out on an injury, and we don't know when he'll come back. Suffice to say, he should only come back at least after a year. That was my advice, as if Earl was looking for my advice, which he wasn't. But I say wait a year, because no matter when he come back, anybody who gets in a ring with him is gonna gun for that eye. You don't know how shit is healed until you really get in there, and we don't want the man to go blind, do we? Willie Beachman said, shaking my head, I respect you, but I don't respect Floyd Mayweather. We can talk about that in a minute. Hold on, let me get this Yugas thing out. I love Floyd, but I call Floyd out. I'm not biased. I cannot. There's no way I can do this show and be biased or non-objective. I just can't do it. So Ugas, you not gonna get a unification fight no time soon. So outside of them, who's gonna bring in the big bucks? So you're not really losing that much money. And if you do have to do this tournament, you are going to get paid. Pacquiao said he retired, so you're not going to get a big payday there. So I'm not totally mad at this box off, but under the guidance of WBA, from what they said in the beginning, what the box off was, it does appear that they kind of moving the goalposts from what they originally said the box off was going to be. The box off was going to be to get rid of these extra belts. Well, you don't have an extra belt. You have the belt. So why include him in it? Why he can't just, why folk come, he can't just be like other fighters and just, pick a fight and make as much money as he can. Why folk come, he can't do that. So that's what Ugas is saying. Why folk come, I can't. But so in that sense, I feel Ugas. It's a hard way to look at it. It's a hard way to look at it. And if those other guys are subject to these interim belts that you got to get rid of, then you let them box off. You don't have to necessarily bring Ugas into it. He's a real champion. And I guess you should show some respect. You should show him the respect that you give Venezuelan fighters. Because we know the WBA favors them. Or Latino fighters. We know they favor them too. Kind of like the WBC. So y'all should give him keep the same energy. Yeah. If he wins, he has to face the winner between the WBA regular champion in the 147 division, Jamal James, and the number 4 ranked person, Razab Butayev, by March. That's what he got to do. So he has to run through, you know, 2 people. And I think they got to fight twice or something like that. Yeah, that's bullshit. A little bit. I see it both ways though, but because we are tired of boxers in general sitting on their belts, fighting once a year, and the WBA is picking him to be an example. Like, we're not gonna let that go down no more. Now, the WBA, news to you, if going forward you don't keep that same motherfucking energy, then we're gonna see it as a racial thing. It's plain and simple. If you don't do your Mexican fighters like that or them Latino fighters like that, I'ma see it as racial. There's no other way for me to look at it. As soon as they get the belt, put them in a box off. I'ma see it as racial if you don't do that. And you can do that up and down these weight divisions. So I'm gonna need the WBA to simply keep the same energy. That's all I need. Willie Beachman said Earl only has 2 more fights at welterweight. Do you think Ugas would be one of them? If Ugas wanted, Earl would give it to him. Earl ain't running from nobody. Nobody. He's staying 10 toes down. He don't give a damn. He the kind of fighter we like. Earl got the attitude like, let's get it in. And he is the king of the welterweight division as of today. And I say that as a true Bud fan. I always say it because I need y'all to know Bud is my guy. If Earl and Bud fight, I got Bud 10 toes down. I ain't backing off none of that shit. But right now, facts are facts, and the truth doesn't hurt me. Earl is the king of the division right now. That's what it is. And if he wind up getting all the belts, or maybe getting all three belts and moving up, that's his decision. He's an excellent fighter. That I'm not mad at him. Jamal James, by the way, is fighting on the 30th of October. Now y'all know that is the Dillian White's card with Otto Wallin, and we know that it's probably canceled. Now I say it like that because it's nothing official has been stated or happened yet. More than likely, it's canceled because of a shoulder injury. Wallen's team think that Dillian is faking the funk. Uh, he putting some stank on it, trying to make it more than what it is. And Dillian probably feel like, well, I don't want to chance anything with Wallen. I just want to go straight to the source and get the fight with Tyson Fury. And Dillian can act like Deontay Wilder was avoiding him, but we know that would be bullshit. Deontay Wilder wasn't thinking about him, and Eddie was trying to use him as a buffer between Deontay and AJ. But we all know that Deontay would have two pieces ass up right up out of there. But I don't know how I feel about this. I don't. I really, you know, um, it's a weird thing. I like to keep the same energy, and it wouldn't be fair to Wallen to do this to him, and I stand by that. However, they gonna do what they gonna do anyway, fair or not. You talking about a cheater. I don't like Dillian White either. I feel about him the same way I feel about Tyson Fury, the same way I feel about Canelo Alvarez, and whoever else cheats out here. They got the same energy from me. I really don't care about his career or anything. I don't trust anything he say or do. I don't even care if he correct himself. To me, it's such a brutal sport, and it's so much on the line. And when your life can be on the line, there's no room for error. There's some things you can play with, and some things you can have do overs. This is not one of them when you're talking about cheating. So this is why I'm very harsh and unwavering when it comes to people who cheat. But Dillian White is gonna take his cheating ass uh, out of the fight with Wallin, and he might can get away with it. The way the contracts are written, or his obligation to fight Wallin, he has none. So he might can very well get away with that. But Tyson Fury cannot get out of fighting Dillian White. That's his mandatory. And according to the WBC rules, if Tyson Fury chooses not to accept his mandatory, he will be stripped of his WBC belt. Period. And where it go from there, I don't know. Would Dillian become an email champion? It don't matter. If he gets the belt, Deontay taking it up off him anyway. But I don't know what Tyson Fury's plans is. The more low moments that he have, in between fights is detrimental to him. So maybe one or two, we can see what course this dude is gonna be on. Um, logically, I would think that he wants the winner of Ugas and Joshua. You know, um, just so he can say he was undisputed again, and that would be a great accomplishment. But I don't feel much about him. He needs, if he do go into the Hall of Fame, there need to be a big ass asterisk by his name. Somebody need to write a book so the history don't forget, and I mean write it in a way where somebody 100 years from now can feel like they was day by day living this shit. Cause he don't get to ride off into the sunset neither. Talking about Tyson Fury. But if two cheaters want to come up and meet in the ring, I don't care. Have at it. May the best cheater win. I don't really care. So Dillian White, he gonna do what he do. He's scrupulous any goddamn way. So Otto Wallin, I'm sorry for what they doing to you. If you a straight up fighter, I don't know much about you, but the fact that you cracked Tyson Fury's eye open, I'm you batting 1,000 right now with me. But if Dillian do you wrong, I apologize for that because you're dealing with a person who has no honor. So I don't know what you can expect from him. But as far as what people are thinking, that fight is canceled. But even if that fight is canceled, those other fights that we told you gonna be on that day, I hope they continue. Like I said, Jamal James is supposed to what's his name? Jamal James, I think. Yeah. It's supposed to be fighting on that date. And he's in the box off with the Ugas situation. So we don't need to mess up his schedule just because Dillian is playing some fuckboy games. You know what I'm saying? Uh, is he faking? I don't know. But the team Wallin thinks he is, and like I told you, I think he can walk away without any consequences. And but Tyson Fury can't get out from what he owed Dillian. He can't. He's just mandatory. So that's how I feel about it. Just sorry for Otto Wallin, but sorry ain't good enough for you because them cheaters gonna do what they want to do. Now you know how we feel. Joshua, we talked about him yesterday, canvassing American coaches or trainers in Ed Reynoso, which I was like, oh my God, please. If you get with him, we already know what time it is. And then who was the other one? Virgil Hunter and Ronnie Shields. Now he said he wanted to keep he getting rid of everybody except Angel Fernandez. That's a trainer or somebody in his corner, probably the one who makes up his tea. So we got to bring him along. We can't fire the tea maker because tea is difficult to make these days. You know what I'm saying? We can't fire the tea maker. So Joshua was like, huh, that's my stipulation. My tea maker has to come with me. And I, like I said yesterday, I didn't know that he was on some shit until recently. And it's been accepted. That's why you don't hear about it. Now I look at you funny. But at least you got your shit accepted. At least you got the shit, to your waiver. At least you did that much. But still, you right up there with him. That's your saving grace. You went and got a waiver. You was smart enough to do that shit. Still don't make it no good. But Angel San, what his name? I said Fernandez, right? It might be Angel Sanchez. I don't know. Whoever the guy name is Angel that works with him, the tea maker, he has to come along. So I'm gonna move on from that. But as far as Ronnie Shields is approachable about the situation. He's mulling it over. He's not opposed to it. Um, I know that Virgil Hunter and Ronnie Shields ain't with the T. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do their final analysis of it and make their final decisions. But if AJ feel like he needs some American training, you probably do. If you think it'll work, I hope it work for you, AJ. I don't hate you, but I dislike that you're a heavyweight fighter with your physique and your pedigree, and that is to say you're a gold medal winner, represented the UK proudly, and you're scared to fight other fighters. I have a problem with that. If that is the case, you don't need to be in boxing. You should have been gone. Willie Beachman said, how much of a help do you think Ronnie Shields would be training AJ? Um, I don't know how much. I never really seen AJ as a complete boxer. By him going to the Olympics and getting a gold medal, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he is a boxer, maybe a complete boxer. Um, all that extra weight did not help him. When he was in the Olympics, he was probably hovering around 220. As a professional, he's like 240 plus, and that weight didn't help him. But that tea he was drinking is partly the reason why he ballooned up or whatever, or muscled up, I should say. So it depends. It depends because Rodney cannot teach stamina. Nobody can. Sorry. And Rodney cannot teach a heart, and Rodney can't get, remove scaredness and fear out of somebody's mind. Rodney is a great man, a master of many things, but he cannot overcome that. Nobody can. If you're scared in your mind, then you're scared in your mind. I don't know what class, what book you can read. I mean, that's an individual thing that AJ has to overcome. What's his name? He asked me about Floyd, Willie Beachman. So it's hard with Floyd. In the boxing ring, y'all know he's my favorite fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's retired now, so that's how I look at it. He's not an active fighter. Floyd was God gifted. Um, there was nobody better. When he said TBE, I believe it. But Floyd, as a person, has some issues. I've said this before. When we all get to be every age, from baby up, whatever, God willing, we get to experience what it's like to be in our 20s and 30s and 40s and so on. When you're in your 20s, and just speaking from a female point of view, that's when you're a hot ticket item. Your skin is beautiful, your muscles are tight, everything's sitting up, ready to go, right? And you get the attention that you get. But as you get older, that kind of attention diminish, as it should. You have to be willing to get off the stage and let the young folks come through. It's a revolving door. You grow up to that point, before you get there, somebody else is there. When it's your time to get up there, they exit stage left, you get on. You reign supreme for however long. As you get older, you got to get off the stage and let the young ones come behind you. This is the problem with Floyd. And that is to say, he's arrogant and he's conceited. And that's the issue. That is truly an issue. I don't think that would be the first time that Floyd has heard that, and it won't be the last time. But Floyd got enough money to say money means he never have to say he's sorry. At least that's how he feel. So when Floyd do what he do, what I want Floyd to peep game at is, I hated when Mike Tyson, downgraded Floyd or talked bad about. I hated it with a passion because I didn't understand where it came from. And I said, to myself, they're celebrities. You don't know what goes on behind doors, closed doors. Maybe Floyd got under his skin on purpose, because Floyd is known for the getting under people's skin. Maybe Floyd did something to him or disrespected him in some kind of way. You just don't know. But there was two men having a tay-to-tay with each other, and I commended Floyd for not engaging back and like showing some restraint, because some of that shit was like, come on, Mike, come on now, you crossing the line big time when it comes to respect. We know you're an ex-boxer, and in your day, Floyd couldn't do nothing with you because you're a big guy. But come on, man, y'all are both men. What is your problem with Floyd? I used to say that, but I refused to give it airtime, add to it, because then that way I felt like I would be cooning or whatever. Not even talking with friends. I didn't even have a show. I'm not even talking with friends or anything. I refused to put that out there in the atmosphere. Two black men going at each other like that. And to my knowledge, Floyd didn't really do much. I could not see what Floyd did to him. And in the end, after searching my mind and searching my mind and searching my mind, I came to the conclusion that Floyd did it better than all of y'all. And y'all were jealous. That's what it was. There's no other way to look at it. I'm reaching that same conclusion about him to Deontay. Floyd, you doing to Deontay what Mike Tyson was doing to you. And if you think that that was fair, Reggie, you ain't reporting no news. I just looked down what you said. She loved Floyd. I'm transparent over here. Reggie, you telling yourself trying to drop some news. Huh? You trying to tell on me, Reggie? You ain't telling on me. I'm transparent over here. So Floyd is doing to Deontay what Mike Tyson was doing to Floyd all those years. Why you mad at him, Mike? Because he did make more money than y'all. He showed y'all the blueprint. Y'all act like y'all didn't know. It was damn near like an epidemic. I hope things are getting better when it comes to sports across the board. They have 30 for 30 uh TV shows about sport people making all this goddamn. Who the fuck makes $100 million and then less than 20 years you barely got 1 million? Who does that? And it happens over and over again with black athletes. Well, now Floyd showed y'all a new life, and you gotta give that man his props for that. He showed y'all a new way of looking at it and doing it. Do Mike Tyson wish he had did that? Mike Tyson in his day used to make $30 million a fight. His fights would barely go 2 rounds. Where's the money, Mike? Mike had a play on Broadway basically saying what he did with his money, how he fucked it off. He learned his lesson. You live and you learn. That don't mean he's less than. I don't say any of this to say Mike Tyson is less than, but I'm saying you begrudge Floyd for being smarter than y'all. When I say y'all, all the previous fighters, because he was. He was. He did it better than y'all. Now Floyd is doing the same with Deontay. But what's sad about it is, it's more than just the money aspect with Floyd. Uh, Floyd could care less how much money Deontay made, because I don't know if Deontay made as much as Floyd. He not on Floyd's level as far as how much money he has made, but he could. Deontay is a smart man. He makes good investments. He don't fuck off money. He buys his stuff straight up too. Floyd should be happy that people behind him is following his blueprint. He should be happy, but he probably feel like he's not. And that got everything to do with he got to be the man at all times. He got to be the best. He got to look the best. He got to be the man. He got to have more bitches. He got to be the man at all times. That is the one part about Floyd Mayweather I do not like. And I don't think that's God gifted. That's a personal problem that he has to overcome. And I hope my brother do. Because in that ring, and when it comes to boxing, and I didn't say promoting, but when it comes to boxing, Floyd is the king of this shit. And I'll stand by that forever. He is TBE. And Floyd, it's enough money and championships out here for everybody. Because Deontay is doing well does not take away from you. As you doing well did not take away from Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, a lot of people were motivated. Hell, Tyson Fury said he was named after him. A lot of people took from him something of relevance and added it into their own life, as do we all when it came to you. Trust me, Floyd is relevant for sports. That's who God chose to be relevant for everybody in sports, period. The way that man made his moves, the way he betted on himself, the shit he overcame, it's the stuff that great movies are made of. Floyd should never be jealous or envious of any other man. He is at the top and will always be at the top, will never be dethroned. And I hope he hear me when I say this. But I do not understand your hatred for Deontay. And that makes me leery of how I used to feel about you. It's like it's changing. how I feel about you because you can't let that go. That man hasn't done anything for you. This world is big enough for both of y'all. And that's my sermon on Floyd. What he did was petty and it was a shot at Deontay. And ain't nobody stupid out here. We saw it. We just don't see why. Because I wrecked my brain trying to figure out what did Deontay ever do to you or Tyson, Mike Tyson. What did he do? Willie said Floyd can't beat Thomas Hearns, Hector Camacho, Sugar Ray Leonard. How is he the best ever? We don't know that. He wasn't in their time. We can speculate, and I respect anybody's opinion that feel that, but we don't know that because the people that was in his time, that was the bomb.com, he beat them, and that's all he needed to. Yeah, I mean there's people like you could say um Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach, believe it or not, used to be a boxer. I don't know if all of y'all knew that. Sucked that. He tried. Probably is a better coach than he was a boxer. He knows everything about boxing. He's probably a boxing encyclopedia, but he couldn't execute shit. He was whack as a fighter. Now we could say if Floyd fought during his time, Floyd will wax his ass. You can say stuff like that, but when you talk about the greats, you just don't know. Floyd is a complete fighter. This is why I say I don't know. I respect anybody who see it another way. That's that's one way of looking at it. That's what I would say. But Floyd is a complete fighter. He does everything great. Everything in that ring, he does great. He rarely makes mistakes. And just because I don't like his behavior outside the ring or in these streets called life, I ain't gonna take that away from him. And neither does Deontay. But Deontay is a better man than Floyd. Let me say it like that. Uh, Lynn, what is it? Lynn sold That's Boy. Salute Miss T. Was popping king. Deontay is a better man. And if you had a choice, if I was either one of them, I would rather be the better man. Deontay, the way he is, the way his character is going to get him more out of life than anything. Boxing is a short time in your life. You can only have a boxing career about that much of your life. You have a whole life that you're going to live outside of boxing, God willing. And you rather be a good man or a better man across the board than just to be TBE in the ring. And this is something Floyd's going to have to work on. And we got to pray that God is working on it with him. We got to pray that as he get older, he has wisdom and everything. I won't get into speculation like could he or would he. I hate to see great people fall because of their character or their inability to be, decent and courteous and fair. I hate to see it. You know, jealousy and envy is a sin, right? Isn't that a sin? And Floyd walks that line, if not crosses it, all the time. And it's crazy because he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be. Him and Deontay are two different people. They fought in two different weight class. There should be no comparison with the two. Floyd has proved his point. Deontay in the process of proving his career wise. But as a man, Deontay been a man. Not many men can say that. That's Big Daddy right there. That's what I be talking about, Big Daddy shit. Deontay is Big Daddy. I gotta dub him Big Daddy. Everybody don't get Big Daddy status. Floyd, Floyd is older and he's not. And I love Floyd to death for what he did in that ring. But he's not Big Daddy at all. Now I know I'm just T. Who am I? One boxing fan to another. Just one person. But I know I'm not the only person that think the way I think. Willie Beachman say, I don't want to see Floyd fall. I just want to see him stand tall. Me too. So we can keep praying for him. I pray for Floyd all the time. I pray that if you eliminate the jealousy and the envy part out of him, just where would he be? But he is God anointed, and what was for Floyd is for Floyd. What he do with it is what he do with it. Because sometimes God can give, and I don't mean to preach y'all. Sometimes God can give you everything you want and just see what you're gonna do with it. And sometimes He don't give you anything you want just to see how you react. And all of it's relevant because you have free choice and free will, but hopefully you choose right. All of it's relevant. You got to take the lesson that come with whatever you experience and hopefully make better choices going forward. And Floyd is not appearing to be a person who grows in wisdom. And that's unfortunate because you're in your 40s now, Floyd, and you don't have wisdom. Jealousy and envy means you don't have wisdom. And I can say the same for Mike Tyson, too. And I love both of them as fighters. But Deontay, I will follow him to the ends of the earth. If something had happened and Deontay was like the leader, I'm following him. I'm not questioning shit. That's why he Big Daddy. He Big Daddy. Big Daddy has nothing to do with sex. Big Daddy has everything to do with being a real man, you know. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. So shout outs to Big Daddy Deontay Wilder. And shout out to Floyd. I pray for you. I pray that you don't let your jealousy and envy get in the way for whatever else God has in store for you, whatever other greatness He has in store. And the same thing for Mike Tyson. But moving on from them fellas, Deontay Tank Davis and Rolly Romero is having their first press conference October 21st. It is must see TV. It's gonna be at 1300, i.e., 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be like 1600 or 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just putting it out there. I don't want y'all to miss it. That shit, by my account, is going to be hilarious. I'm already laughing because that goddamn Rolly is a fool, and I'm here for all of that. I want to see it. But look, I done carried on and carried on. As I say, water check. I'm at 80 ounces. When I get off this, I'm going to knock down 4 more. I'm going to do it before midnight. I ain't letting another day pass if I don't get 100 ounces. I got 104 yesterday. I got 88 the day before. We had Wednesday. I'm at 80 ounces. I am drinking my dinner. And Sunday, y'all don't forget, I have my wellness broadcast go down at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're gonna talk about wellness and on these programs, I'm gonna be talking about different parts of the body and how it works and basically how I come up with what I come up with. I told you guys a little bit about myself, why I come to this stage in my life and why I do the things I do. You got to go back and watch it. It's got an apple with some words in the middle. Go back and watch that program. And so you can be caught up. You got all week to do it. Sunday, 1 o'clock. Be there or be square. Do anybody want to call? 706-804-4449. Let me see if my phone lines have been open this whole time. I put the link in the chat a couple of times. Anybody want to call? Anybody at all? Last call for alcohol. Y'all know I ain't gonna wait for you. Um, I do say stick around, and for y'all new to the chat, stick around and check out my ending. That's fairly new. I gotta get some work with it, but it's fairly new, and I'm kind of proud of these little things because I'm learning. When you know better, you what? You do better. Hold on, I got a comment before I get up out of here. He said, "Will do." Thank y'all for coming in and joining me and listening to me rant. and rocking out with me with the go-go and all that. As y'all see, I got a lot of energy today. Yesterday, I was, ooh, the sugar withdrawals of it all. Shit, I was hurting. I did get off and went straight to sleep. Straight to sleep. Woke up in the middle of the night. Ooh, I needed that. But then I went back to sleep. I ain't wake up till this afternoon. That's what sugar withdrawals would do to your ass. Remember, sleep is an important part of your diet too. Without the sleep, no magic happens. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. When I tell y'all, most people derail themselves in diets because they don't drink enough water and they don't sleep properly. Them the two things that you don't think about and you don't connect that dot that derail people in the diets. As I always say, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. I'm on my diet. I'm doing it in front of y'all. Y'all can laugh. Y'all can, laugh, enjoy it, or be laughing at me. It wouldn't even matter. I'm not embarrassed. I'm a woman of a particular age. I don't care. I know what to do this right, and I'm all for trying to find the health in me. I hope y'all go be with me on my journey and finding the health in you. As I say, I'm drinking my dinner, and let me go knock down these full water bottles before midnight. I see anybody call, so I'm gonna say peace to you. See y'all tomorrow.